welcome back. This is Angie Gade with I Feel the Rush, and I would love to welcome you if you've never been with us before. We are live every week, 8 p.m. Central Time, to bring you new and exciting ways to use your hides, antlers, feathers, whatever things that you've brought from the outside in to help you relive those outdoor experiences time and time again by making memory decor. That's what we like to call it. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't been with us before, welcome aboard. Hopefully you find some dose of inspiration in some of the projects that we show you. If you haven't been here before, please go check out the other lives. Every week you'll find those on Facebook. If you scroll back through the previous weeks, you'll find some really great ideas. Now, what we're trying to do is just basically build a community of hunters, outdoorsmen, outdoors women that have a lot of things laying around the house, like we do. There's 6 of us in this family, and we have a lot of antlers and feathers and all sorts of things. We like to try to utilize our harvest as much as possible. So we basically just started to create projects, and we want to share those with you. And I would love it if you would share pictures if you've done some of these or you have some ideas. Please share them with us. The community is growing and people are loving these projects. Gives us some way to utilize some of these things laying around the house. Today in particular, the project is going to be painted antler deer skulls. You can use any sort of skull or bones or antlers, whatever you like. You know, use your imagination. What we really push each week is that you can't mess this up. Take a little bit of what you're going to learn tonight, or just take the ideas and expand on them. You know, look around the house. What do you have laying around that you could really create something a little more exciting to help you look at that and remember those awesome experiences that you had, the hunt that you had with someone special, just what a beautiful day it was, what an exciting adventure you went on. I know for me, every piece that we've done something with, I look back and every time I see it, I think, that was an amazing day. Like, I don't want to forget that. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. So, again, if you have ideas after you're kind of looking through this, you have suggestions, maybe you've done this before, please share them in the comments below. If you think this might be of interest to someone else you know, please share it with your friends or share it to your page so you remember where it is for the future. So, as I mentioned, I got this idea actually on Pinterest. I get a lot of my ideas on Pinterest because I have a lot of things laying around, whether it's turkey feathers, hides, antlers, whatever. I just search it on Pinterest or look up on Facebook different ideas, and this is what I came up with for today. Now, I painted a couple different options just to give you an idea, but if you're curious to look at other ideas, there's millions of ideas. Not millions, but there's thousands at least. Look up painted deer skulls on Pinterest and be prepared to sit there for a couple hours because there's tons of ideas. So again, I'm going to start basically with showing you, we have so many things. The question actually came from somebody in this community, said, I have lots of skulls that I haven't done anything with. What can I do with that? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. We have a lot of them. So in a lot of cases, if you're a collector of things outdoors, you might come home with maybe a skull you found out in the wild. You know, you found something and it's pretty cool. That's a classic example of little tiny skulls that I find. I don't know why I have to collect them. I have to bring them home. They go on a shelf. I actually just painted this one yellow. I don't even know what kind of skull it is, but it's cute. So I just painted this one yellow. Now this is just to show you as an example. It doesn't matter whether it's a deer skull or a bull skull. You see a lot of bull skulls painted, but I'm from the Midwest. They're not easy to come by. They're very expensive. So my recommendation is if you want to try painting skulls, look for something in the wild or another common skull that we find. And for those of you who would not collect skulls, feel free to go on Amazon. You can find a lot, or Etsy. You can find them there. Not everybody wants to walk around the woods and collect things. I do, so I have a lot of these laying around. So for practice, if you don't want to just practice on paper and you want to practice on a real skull, find something like this. And, you know, I'm going to explain what I did in the painting process, but I kind of just wanted to walk through where I get mine and, you know, what your options are. So, little tiny skull like that. Another thing that I found that I have quite a few of, and this is where I started practicing, was on a Doe Skull. Because, as I mentioned, we're from Wisconsin, and that really made me sound like I really have an accent. Wisconsin. So, that's true. Here we are. But for such harsh winters around here, we find a lot of doe and buck carcasses after the winter when we're out shed hunting. So I actually do collect the skulls because I like to do projects like this. So instead of taking a nice dead head like this and experimenting on it, I would take something like a doe skull or what might be a buck, a couple-year-old buck. So this I actually painted just kind of a simple color, but I wanted to show you, this is just a skull that I found out in the woods. So if they're older, they should be kind of clean. If they're not, you can boil them down to, get rid of some of the stuff on the outside. Otherwise, some soap and water is going to do just fine for the trial that you want to do. I didn't do a lot to this thing. As you can see, it's still, it's not whitened. I didn't do anything fancy with it. But I did clean it up just so that it was clean when I put the paint on. Now, as you can see, I actually had done some etching in here. That is for an entirely different I'm going to hang this call up. My apologies to whoever that was. So I just cleaned it up, but I wanted to show you, I had tried some etching on this skull because it was just one that I found. Anything that you want to try for the first time, do not try it on like your prized possession mount. You don't want to start there. It is pretty easy, but you're going to want to try it on a, one that you really don't care whether you wreck it or not. So for this particular one, I just took the one that I etched and I put some of this glimmered paint on there. Now, when it comes to materials, don't think fancy. You don't have to spend a lot of money. This particular one, I used this little glitter paint. I got this at Walmart. It was like $1. So I found this in the woods. I got this for $1, and I just put one coating on it. So again, this is something you could just hang on the wall. You could set on the table. This is not fancy, it's not difficult to do, but it looks nice. If you wanted to set it up somewhere, put it on a wall mount, you could, thanks. You could, what did I etch it with? A diamond bit. The word is escaping me right at the moment, but it's like one of those grinders, and you put a diamond bit in the front of it, and then I etched into here. Again, the etching is kind of something, you can look that up on Pinterest, and that I'm going to do an entirely different live on, because that in and of itself is such a fantastic project. But there's a few little details that I would recommend for someone. First and foremost, if you're going to try it, wear a mask. All that dust gets in your lungs and your nose, and it's not good. So wear a mask. As long as you have a good bit, this is actually really easy to do. Judy, you should try it. But wait a couple months. You know what I mean. So I just thought, well, since it was already etched, I would paint that one up. So there you go. It's kind of glimmery. So then the next one I did was, because I was seeing all these different ideas on Pinterest, and of course I was painting at like midnight last night, so my color selection probably has something to be desired, but I wanted to show you another example of different things that you can do. If you look online, there's patterns, they have different colors on them. My suggestion, if you, I'm so excited, your package is coming soon. It's in the box. I want to put something special in there for you, so it's coming. So my suggestion, if you're going to do like colored lines, is to take tape. This is duct tape, but I would recommend like painter's tape, and run it across here, paint it, let it dry, remove it, so on and so forth. If you just wanted to do regular lines like this, different colors, maybe you like these colors, but that was what I found in the dark when I was trying to pick out some paint. So as you can see, that's just something different. You can paint it however you want to. The picture that I saw only had it painted on the front, so I thought I would show you that as an example. You don't have to paint the whole thing. There are no rules. So again, that's another idea. What you can do is if you're, if you're all done painting it and you want to seal it, maybe you're going to hang it outside. You could spray a clear sealer on there just to protect it a little bit. So there you go. That's one more idea. The next idea that I had. Calls and I'm getting all sorts of stuff. Okay, so I cannot take credit for this. This is an idea that I saw on Pinterest again, but it looks so pretty. I just could not do it. So keep in mind, this was probably a couple-year-old buck. So the skull is a little bit small. What I would recommend if you were going to try this, maybe to go with a little wider skull. Like I'll show you as an example. See how wide this skull is and how narrow this one is. The paintings are a little bit more difficult to do on a little smaller skull. But since, like I said, this was one that I found in the woods, I was going to try it on this one before I went with this big boy. And this one I actually have a different idea for. So let me put him down. He's big. So this one, I'm going to get it up a little bit closer just to explain what I did. As you can see, I painted the whole entire thing black. And then I painted that moon, which is just white. And then I took my brush. Here's a brush. I took my brush and in my white paint in my little tray, I put some down on a paper towel and I kind of dabbed it so that the brush wasn't full. And I went just to give it like that misty look. That's how they get the misty look. This was a pure white circle, and then this is kind of this misty look here. And as you can see, I am no artist, but if you look real close, maybe you can see a deer. And then there's some trees in the background. This was so simple. If you want to try this, I swear, this is really, really simple. This whole entire thing took about 45 minutes because basically the most time was to let the black dry. So black base again, white circle for the moon, dab, 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 dab on the front for the white mist, and then take a little tiny brush, I'll show you, little tiny brush, and make your little trees and make your little deer. He's just a silhouette, so that silhouette was the easiest thing you could ever. Thank you, Judy, for acknowledging it, even if you don't see it. I appreciate that. So yeah, so that's an idea. So again, that was an idea I got off Pinterest. But you could do something similar to that with a sunrise, a sunset. Please don't be afraid to try this because let me tell you, if you start with this base, pretend your deer ended up looking like a hippopotamus or something. Who knows? I didn't know how mine would turn out. Worst case scenario, you know what you do? You take black and you repaint the whole thing. And then you let it dry and you start over. There is no way you can mess this up. If you really, really don't like it no matter what, and again, it's your trial piece, you can take some spray paint, whether it's black or white spray paint. If you've tried it a couple times and you're recovering it over and over again and you need it to be really thick to cover up what you've done, maybe try some spray paint to really give it a fresh coat and start over. If you wanted to do like a sunset or a sunrise or something like that, that would be another good option because a silhouette is very, very simple to do. So that might be a good thing to try with. Otherwise, don't be afraid to try something new. And if you want to get a little more detailed, whether it's a deer or turkey or whatever you want to put on there, there's no limitations. Maybe just try your actual painting on a piece of paper first so you don't try it on your skull. But again, if it's something that you found in the woods, just give it a whirl. It's going to turn out different on your skull than it is on a piece of paper anyway. So give it a try. Chris, can you see my deer?
Yes.
So there's that. And then I was hoping to have this one done for you guys, but I did not quite make it that far. So what I'm going to do with this one is I painted it all brown. And then I'm going to do like some squiggly marks, and I'm going to do the same pattern on this side as I am on this side. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to try to finish that tonight. I will send you guys some pictures. I'll post them on Instagram and let you know how that turned out. But again, it's something, you know, this in particular might be something you have because as you can see, this was found, I don't know if you can see that, it's been chewed up by the squirrels a little bit here and on the corner. So this is still a beautiful piece. You know, that's something you definitely could put on the wall or put out for decoration. I mean, it's amazing. He's an amazing deer. So I like to keep these pieces, but it's another way that we can find to use them instead of just sticking them in a box or letting them sit somewhere where they can't be viewed, because even though that's not my buck, it's just an amazing thing. I mean, their antlers are just beautiful, and you know, squirrels are a fact of life for us here. But so get creative, you know, use this as an example, like I said, and I always say, you just can't go wrong. You can't make a mistake. There's always a way to fix it. If you try, here's another piece. What is this? Is this a boar?
That's a wild boar, yeah.
So here's a wild boar. Now this is just sitting on a shelf downstairs. It's my husband's. He's not going to let me paint this one, but if you have Dana Sasha, maybe you have a skull, or you will have a skull like this. It just gives it a little bit more personality, you know, rather than just the traditional white. You could decide to paint it or put a pattern on it, or Judy, you could try to etch this too. I mean, you get creative. You know, a lot of you have some of these things laying around, or maybe you've kind of inherited some of these things. Don't be afraid to try something new. But again, if you're going to try something really new, don't try it on your prized possession first. Try it on something else. And let me know if you have any questions. If you get going and you get stuck, or you just have a question and you want to not sure where to take it from there, send me a message, post a picture or a comment in this feed, and I will see it and I will definitely respond back to you. So that's it. So I just wanted to give you another idea for, again, these are kind of our taxidermy alternative ideas. This is not something that necessarily, you know, a traditional mount on the wall. We're looking for new and inspiring ways to use these pieces, because every year we get more and more and more, and we're wanting to get a little more creative, and we're hoping people will utilize their harvests as much as possible. So again, thank you for joining me. If you're interested in joining us again, we try to be here around 8 o'clock Central every Thursday night. If I can't be here live, I will try to pre-schedule a video so that I'm always here. So please come back and join us again. Go check our old videos that are in the Facebook feed. And if you have any questions, let us know. If you have project ideas that you're not wanting to try but you'd like us to try, let me know. Send us a message. If you're in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area and you're looking for a presentation for a hunting show or a meeting, reach out to us. Let us know. We have lots of samples, lots of home decor. We would love to meet new people. We're really enjoying building this community and meeting so many awesome, inspirational people. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a great night. You know, find us on Instagram, and you can go to the website. We sometimes post stories there and pictures of projects. And I'd love to hear from you. So thanks again. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.